after 3 really amazing days in Death Valley with some fantastic light, amazing colors, and a sunset that I will never forget, I decided it was time to move on. So I packed up my gear and headed towards the Valley of Fire, out towards Las Vegas. Welcome to my last day of YouTubing from my winter trip to the southwest. I'm now out of Death Valley and in the Valley of Fire near Vegas for my last day, and I don't know if I'm going to do a YouTube video. I guess if you're watching this, then I did, but right now I'm not sure. It's really quite busy. I got the last camping spot. I was lucky. And I went to the fire wave, and there was loads of people there. I didn't even try to do any kind of videoing from there. Not that I was going to shoot there anyway, because it's the midday right now. It's no good. But I might go back there this evening and see what it's like. But I'm sure it's going to be really busy, and certainly not very good for YouTube, for videoing, or maybe not even photography. But or I could come back tomorrow. That's the other option. I could come back in the morning, perhaps when it's a bit quieter. But I wanted to share this place with you. It's really neat, and I just walked a ways on this little known trail. I haven't seen anybody, but I have water and I have my GPS, so I won't get lost. Anyway. Yeah, so we'll see about what's going to happen with, I'm not sure. I looked for compositions and couldn't really see much. It was a struggle, and this landscape is difficult to photograph. It needs some drama. It needs a storm rolling through, or a really great sunset or sunrise or something. But when you've got these just blue skies, and everything's so harsh right now, it's really hard to pick out anything. But ever the optimist, I will plug on, keep looking around, and maybe see the wave later on. Okay, onwards. Well, after a lot of walking around up and down the trails, over the slick rock, I couldn't really find much, and I pulled over and looked back down the road, and I think I found a composition, but it requires me to stand in the middle of the road. So I think I can dodge the traffic, get out there and take the shot. I can get set up at the side of the road and then run out, quickly frame it up, snap the image. And I really like it because you got the road as the leading line through the image, and then you got the red rock in the background, and once the light gets a little bit lower, I think I look really nice. And if I can get it without any cars on, that'd be even better. But I'm gonna give that a shot. Why not? Yeah, give it a shot. So first things first, I need to figure out what focal length I'm gonna shoot at, because I think wide angle will be too wide. You won't be able to see the road. So I'm thinking probably about 100 or so maybe. I'm going to start off with that. I'll run out there a few times, frame it up, see what it's like, and then get it set. So when the time comes, I'll be ready to shoot. Sorry about the horrible shadows. I didn't realize it was so bad. But yeah, I'm not sure, as I was saying, I'm not sure what I'm going to shoot at. But I'm going to try about 100 mil. Try that, do a few handheld shots running out there in between the traffic. And although it's not that bad. There's about one car every minute or so. So I think I can, I think it'll work. So anyway, I'm going to do a few practice shots and see what I come up with. Yeah, that was about 100 mil, 90 something mil, so perfect. So, well, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think it might make for a decent shot. We'll see. So the only tricky thing with a shot is I might need to focus stack. Take one with a road, the yellow line on the road in the foreground, shoot that, and then get one in the middle and one at the horizon. So I'm gonna need about a minute. Well, maybe less, 45 seconds to do that with no traffic. So, anyway, the cars aren't going very fast. Well, what one was, some guy in a Camaro or something. But sorry, I keep getting the light all messed up here. It's really harsh right now. It's brutal, terrible for photography. But yeah, so 3 shots. With the road. As you can see, I don't sound awfully convinced. This might be a very short video from the Valley of Fire. Anyway, I'm not on fire, that's for sure. So, needless to say, I won't be able to do any back of the camera business, telling you specs and all that kind of stuff, and videotaping me pressing buttons. But that's okay. I'll set up this at the side of the road, and you can just watch me run out, risk my life for a YouTube video. Yeah. Okay, so just waiting for the traffic to die down, and I'm going to run out there and take the shot. So there's no polarization right there, and then just give it a half turn. I don't know if you can see that, but none there from there to there. So just gives everything a bit more saturated, which I quite like. So as you can see, we're going to finish this YouTube video a little bit differently. Normally I would show you my image and I'd wrap it up, roll the credits, and that would be it. But this image didn't make it into the final YouTube video because I really didn't like it at all. And I thought I would have a bit of fun in Photoshop with this image. Now there are some things I do like about this shot. I like the side light hitting the rocks. It looks quite good. The the composition's decent. The exposure's pretty good. I like the contrast of the road running through the shot, gives it some nice depth. But the reason I really don't like this image is because of the sky. There is just nothing happening in the sky, and this image needs drama. So I thought, rather than just not having anything to close the video with, I thought we'd have some fun in Photoshop. But a couple of disclosures here. I am not very good at Photoshop. I'm still learning. There's a few things that I'm getting better at, but it's still a struggle for me. So this is not for anyone who knows anything about Photoshop. You might want to stop watching now. So what I thought we'd do is I'll show you how to do a sky replacement. Now, my second disclosure is I never do sky replacements on my landscape photography, ever. If the image is like this, I just trash it. It's gone. It will never see the light of day. But I do sky replacements on my real estate photography, which I've just started a business, and clients often ask for sky replacements on shots of their houses that then go onto Zillow and Redfin and websites like that. So I'm learning how to do sky replacements, and it's kind of a fun thing. So I thought we'd have a bit of fun with this image, and I'll show you how to do a really basic sky replacement on an image like this, and just some of the things that I do. But again, this is not anywhere close to being anything advanced in Photoshop. So let's begin. So I've got my shot here as a layer in Photoshop, and when you import it from Lightroom into Photoshop, the layer is locked. There's a little padlock here, and you can unlock it by double clicking on the layer and just clicking OK. That unlocks it. That means we can move it around later on. So the first thing I need to do is to select the sky. Now, with an image like this, it's not too difficult. There's a nice contrast between the sky and the landscape, which will make it fairly easy, and there's no trees or anything like that to make it more complicated. So we can go up to the quick selection tool, which is this one right here, and then we can just drag across the image, and it does a pretty decent job of selecting just the sky. But if you zoom in a little bit, you'll notice that it's not perfect. And if I was going to do this for one of my clients with one of the houses that I photograph, I would certainly make sure that this was as good as I could possibly make it. So you can see it's missed part of the rock here. It's gone below that. So some of the lighter parts of the rock is missed. And there's some parts over here too. Now it's pretty easy to fix that. If you click on the option button on a Mac, it changes a little circle to right now it's a positive, changes it to a negative, and you can just, I'll make my brush smaller again, and you can just drag over there, and it just does a pretty much better job. It's not perfect. There we go, not too bad. And I'll do this little piece over here as well. There's a little piece there. So I'm just dragging the mouse with, oops, what did I do there? Undo, Control Z for undo. And like I said, I would take a lot of time with this if I was really caring about this image a lot, but for demonstration purposes, not too worried about it. But I'd go along and I'd make sure I'd get that as good as I can. And for this, that's fine. So Command 0 brings it back to full screen again, so I can see the whole image. So now we have the image with the sky selected, and now we need to go down to the little mask tool or mask option down here, which is the white square of the black circle. So if we click that, it will give us our mask for this particular image, and you can see the pieces of the image that I missed here. Now right now it's we don't have the sky. This mask needs to be inverted because we need the sky to disappear, because we're going to replace that and have the landscape showing. So you can do Command I on a Mac. It inverses the mask. So now the sky's disappeared and we have our landscape. So the next thing is we need to bring in a sky that we're going to replace, that we're going to add to this image. A couple of things I sort of look at when I'm replacing the sky for real estate photography is I look at where the direction of the sun is. So it's coming from the left and hitting the rocks. So the left-hand side of the rocks is all lit up. And also, obviously the sun hasn't gone down yet. So, you know, you want to pick a sky that will work for the image. And in Lightroom, I have, I usually keep a lot of sort of sky photos that I can use for my houses. And, you know, so something like these beautiful sunset pictures wouldn't work on this image because these were taken well after the sun had gone down. It would just wouldn't look real. So if you want something realistic, you need something that is, you know, about the same time of day. So this one down here might work. The Mono Lake one, I think, is probably the best bet. So the way to bring it into the image is the way I like to do it is to just click on it, drag it up over the tab, bring it down into Photoshop. Now it brings up the raw dialog box first, and you can make some adjustments here. Like I might want to bring down the exposure a little bit, or maybe bring it up a little bit, whatever. You know, you can do your adjustments here if you like. It's probably too much exposure. There we go. And click OK, and it will put the sky in as a layer on top of our image. All right, so I'm going to make our canvas a little bit smaller by going Command minus, so we can see what we're working with here. I'm going to drag this sky, see got the handles there. I'm going to just drag that so it's kind of about the right size. You can reduce the opacity of the image, and you can see the image below it. So, you know, if you feel like you want to just move it around a little bit now, you can kind of get a sense of where you'd want that sky image to be. So that's the next step. So move that back up again. Is right now we have the sky on top and we want it on the bottom. So we can select our image and just drag it down here. And you can see we've got our sky in place, and it's, you know, it's not close to being anything that I would, you know, use on a real estate shot. I don't think it's particularly realistic, but that's how easy it is to replace a sky on an image like this. Really simple, and you know, you can make some adjustments in Photoshop to both layers to make it, you know, to make it match a little bit better, make it maybe be a bit more realistic. There's a couple other things that I like to do in Photoshop with my images that I do in my landscape photography, and that is, you can see here we have, you know, a couple of signposts, which if this was an image that I was keeping, I would take those out. And I like to use the spot healing brush tool. So we'll click on our image here, the image of the landscape, the original image, and then you can just click away the signpost. I like to sort of do the dab thing rather than drawing the line like that. I prefer to do a dab for some reason, I don't know why. And then we can get rid of this signpost over here too. And you just kind of work it and make it as realistic as possible. Something like that looks quite good. Command 0 to bring it back to full screen. And there we have it. So, oh, I want to do one more thing. See that little spot on the road? Get rid of that. There we go. Okay, so that's just a really simple sky replacement that it's kind of fun to do, fun to mess around with. It's good to practice your Photoshop skills when you need it. And that's going to end this video. So thanks very much for watching. I've got one more from the Valley of Fire coming up in a week or so when I go to the wave. So look for that, and I will see you on the next video really soon. Bye for now.